Somebody's flying. Somebody's flying, people. Ooh. Somebody's out there flying. Alright, guys. Dopest J bring you guys another cigar yap session. I had to pick this one up again. I had to pick up this cigar again because it hit so well. It was so smooth. So pick this cigar up again. And then someone in the comment section of the shorts made a great recommendation. He said to get a torch. So I got a torch for the cigar. So we got the torch. The thing about the weather right now is that it's so windy outside at times. You have the breeze because it's the fall. Mind you, I'm in the mountains, so you have the elevation out here that it's hard to use matches outdoors. So, especially when lighting a cigar, you need to have that sustained flame. So, got a torch. You're gonna try this out, see how it is. We have a couple things we're gonna cover inside this video. And yeah. Catch you guys in 1 second. Let me light this up and then we'll get to it. Ooh, this is perfect. Oh yeah, that burned pretty quick. That burned pretty quick. Good thing I got that torch today. So you guys can see I got a fresh cut. The waves are popping right now. Got a fade. Was running some errands today. Got a haircut. I got a little push-up bar so I can start hitting some more push-ups, and then picked up a couple cigars today so we can make some more cigar yap sessions for you guys. Somebody's pulling in right now. Yeah. This cigar hits so smooth. I'm gonna put a link in the description for you guys who are interested in cigars to check this out. It's called AVO. I can't say that last word. I don't know what it is. It's weird, but I'll put the name of it in the description as well as a link so you guys can check it out if you guys are interested in this particular cigar and other cigars that I smoke on the channel. So we have a couple things I want to update you guys on really quick before we get into the main topics. I am currently streaming my second playthrough of Cyberpunk outside of obviously me streaming Battlefield 6 because I'm having a blast on that. Doing some solo queue, but also playing with the squad. Playing with the squad is a lot of fun. Great communication, some funny moments, right? So it's always good to play with the boys. And then obviously the occasional Need for Speed Hot Pursuit online races, live streams as well. So we have that coming, a lot of shorts on top of the videos that we're making as well, right? So the content is going to continue to roll out as usual, as typical, and obviously like the cigar yap sessions is very popular on my channel and it attracts a lot of newer viewers, so we're going to keep that up as well. Eventually I'm going to get a dedicated microphone, so sorry about the audio for the past couple of videos, guys, and thank you for the feedback. I really do appreciate the feedback. If there's anything else you guys suggest, please do that. Like the guy mentioned in the comment section of my shorts, he said, hey, pick up a torch. I picked up a torch, and so far so good. I'm enjoying it. Way better than using a lighter. Very convenient. Ooh. Yeah, this is hitting. This is hitting. And it's such a smooth hit too, and it's not too overbearing. That's what I like about this cigar right here. I'm glad I went into town. It's a cigar shop / cigar lounge, and he said, hey, check this out. I checked it out and came back and got 2 more. So let's get to the main topic that I wanted to talk about today. I want to talk about Nintendo again, as well as Pokemon and Game Freak, right? Because in the big 2025, right? In the big 2025, when Pokemon Legends ZA released a couple days ago, right? There's been this backlash from the gaming community, right? particularly on social media, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. A lot of people are pushing back at how low quality and cheap Pokemon Legends EA is. And I didn't buy the game. I didn't buy the last 3 Pokemon games. I didn't buy Legends Arceus. I didn't buy Scarlet and Violet, and I did not buy Legends EA. The last Pokemon game I got was this. This right here. And then my brother copped the 2-pack of Brilliant Diamond and the Pearl game, the remakes, right? The 4th gen remakes. And these were not great remakes. These were not great remakes, right? Some good things about it, right? The nostalgia factor was hitting with this one, but there was features from this generation of Gen 4 that they not bring to Switch, right? And also this game, which is one of the first games I copped on the Nintendo Switch when I got it a couple years ago. This game right here was a horrible Gen 1 remake. I don't know how you can mess up the Kanto remake the way they did with this game, but let me tell you something about the Pokemon games on Nintendo Switch. They are low quality slop games. Slop. This was the final straw for me right here. Pokemon Shield. And the fact that this game came out nearly 4 years ago, right? This game came out 4 years ago, and the expectations that I had for this game in particular, and the reality of what it was, never again. Trash. Low quality animations, horrible design, super easy, no challenge. No real challenge in the game. Just a bad game, right? Especially when you look at other open world games on the Nintendo Switch that was much more demanding and did more with their open world than that game, with the amount of like pop in, especially in the wild area. It was just horrible. And then there were stages in the game where you would climb a ladder and the entire world around you would freeze. I'm sitting here like, what were we waiting for all these years for? So now, in 2025, right after we had this garbage game, and then Legends Arceus as well. Oh my God, we had that trash, Legends Arceus, and now people are complaining about the quality of Pokemon games. Now, shaking my head. And this is why you can never trust the gaming community, right? Because we had three previous entries of Pokemon games before Legends EA came out that showed you how poor the quality of Game Freak's Pokemon games are. Three games. You know who's one of the few individuals in the gaming community on YouTube and all other forms of social media that was on Game Freak's ass about how low quality and poor the product of Pokemon has been for the past couple years? Distant Kingdom. And his videos went viral. His videos did go viral. It was very popular, but there was a lot of cope from a lot of Pokemon and Nintendo fanboys. And I seen this one review on Twitter, right? And in one of the parts of his review, right, because he listed the bullet points and I was looking at it, and one of the things that he said was that he does not care about the graphics. He said he did not care about the graphics of Legends EA. I'm gonna repeat myself. He said, and I quote, "I do not care about the graphics." Brother, so you telling me you spent upwards of $450 to $500 on a Nintendo Switch 2 that was touted and marketed to be more powerful than the Switch 1, higher frame rates, higher resolution, everything, much more powerful system, and you don't care about the graphics of a new mainline Pokemon game? that's supposed to raise the bar over these games, over that's supposed to raise the bar over these three Pokemon games. Got some ash on me. Come on, man. This is what happens when we allow these companies to get away with the bare minimum. Pokemon needs to fail. Pokemon needs to fail, and Pokemon needs to underperform. Get rid of some of that. Pokemon needs to fail. But I did more research, right? Because I said, how do they keep getting away with this? And the budget, there was a former employee that came out and said that, before we get to the budget, here's this. Before anything, right? You need to understand that the businessmen and accountants at Nintendo love the business model of Pokemon. And here's why. A former employee said that Pokemon Legends ZA only needs to sell 200,000 copies to break even. Think about that. Then it came out that the budget for Legends ZA was only 13 million. And they're charging you AAA pricing, and the game only has a budget of $13 million. Cheers to the accountants, cheers to the businessmen at Nintendo. You found a way to do the absolute bare minimum, charge premium pricing, and still kill it from a profits and revenue standpoint with your biggest franchise under your belt, aside from Mario. Cheers to you guys. Because if I can get away with doing the absolute bare minimum in regards to work, and still walk away with a lot of money. Now here's an interesting thing, is that in the UK, Legends ZA is only selling only 45% of the copies of Legends Arceus, meaning that it's not selling as well in the UK. But Pokemon is a global IP. So even if it's not selling as well in the UK, you still have to think about that 200,000 units to break even number. They surpassed that already. They've surpassed 200k units already, and that game is going to be charting for months. It's going to be charting on MPD for months, if not years. So when I think about it, I'm like, damn, how long can they get away with this? Because there's a lot of backlash now, and in my mind, I'm sitting here like, I'm just thinking, right? 'Cause I talked about this on my live stream a couple days ago too, and I said, man, people are now coming to the realization that the Pokemon games are AAA slop now. They're slop games now. They used to be games that were really, really good. And there was the director, I forgot his name. I'm gonna put the screenshot on the video, right? Where the director of a couple of the mainline Pokemon games on the DS and 3DS, he got kicked out. He got pushed out because he had too much control. Mind you, if you look at the Pokemon games that he was the director of and that he was in charge of, are some of the best, most well-written Pokemon games we've ever had, from a story standpoint, from a design standpoint, and just from an overall enjoyability standpoint. Like, something with the games fell off really, really hard after he left. And not only that, but the quality of the games are really, really bad. To the fact that, like, with the Nintendo Switch games, they're still using 3DS animations, right? And another thing I was thinking about, right? Because I have the Asus ROG Ally, right? I have the ROG Ally with the Z1 Extreme, the PC handheld, if you guys don't know. And I'm playing Pokemon Coliseum on it, on the GameCube. I've always heard great things about the GameCube Pokemon games. They're not from Game Freak, it's a different studio that made those games. And wow, the level of quality with the animations in that game, particularly from the Pokemon itself as well. Like, I'm sitting here like, this is a GameCube game that looks, runs, and is much more, how would I say, much more polished than a Nintendo Switch game. This is where we're at. This is where we're at with Pokemon now. Like I said, Pokemon needs to fail. Pokemon as a franchise, at least the games, people need to stop buying these games. Stop it. Just get some help. Play something else. Like, vote with your wallet. But these people won't do that. Like I said, I didn't buy the last 3 mainline Pokemon games. I didn't buy Legends Arceus, I didn't buy Scarlet and Violet, and I did not buy Legends EA. This gaming community is something else, particularly the Nintendo guys. Them Nintendo fans and the Pokemon fans will defend it. They will defend it to their dying breath, and that's the saddest part of all this, man. They will keep defending the bullshit. And I made in my previous Cigar Yap session, I said that Nintendo and PlayStation are not immune to the bullshit. They're not immune to it. Because over the past couple weeks, Xbox has gotten some well-deserved smoke from the community because of all the dumb stuff they've been doing over the past couple months, right? And even going back years. But most recently, with a lot of the things that they're doing, they deserve it, right? But then, like, Sony has been going a little bit under the radar, but you still have some people on, like, you know, some of the ponies, some of the fanboys that are very critical, and I respect them for that. But then the Nintendo guys, oh my god. Outside of a couple people that I know who are like big Nintendo fans, or they're very critical and very realistic. In my previous, I talked about it. Nintendo, he's one of the best Nintendo content creators I watch. Like, I subbed to him recently, and I love his content because the guy's real. Like, he doesn't sugarcoat anything. And I'm gonna leave a link in the description to his channel so that you guys can check him out, because he's very honest about the state of Nintendo, the Switch 2, and a couple of the games that are out there, right? But man, to give you some context, like, I've been a Pokemon player. Pokemon is just as old as me. I'm 28 years old. I'm going on 29. I'm pushing 30, right? Pokemon came out in 96, right? So I was a kid when Pokemon was on the ascension. And to see where the franchise is at right now is so sad, because I'm so fond of it, because I played it as a kid and I continue to play it into my adulthood. So to see that happen is very disappointing. It's like, I can sort of equate it to like the kids who grew up in the 80s with Star Wars, right? A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Like, that was their childhood, right? And now, like, you're still alive, you're much older, and now you look at the state of Star Wars and that franchise, and it's like, damn, how did we get here, right? And I still enjoy Star Wars. Like, I grew up on the prequels, but I watched the original trilogy, and I love the original trilogy. And the prequels, because I was growing up, like, obviously I like them, but I'm also very realistic about the prequel trilogy. And then the sequel trilogy hit, and it's like, damn, like, there was so much potential there, and they kind of fumbled it. To circle it back to Pokemon, I've been playing Pokemon since the Game Boy. My first ever Pokemon game was Pokemon Crystal. My friend lent it to me in elementary school, and I fell in love with the game. Then me and my brother would always play Pokemon. I would get Fire Red, he'd get Leaf Green. I get Emerald, he gets Emerald, or Ruby, Sapphire. I get Diamond, he gets Pearl. You know, and we kept doing that. So, like, even from like a sibling standpoint, like, if you have siblings and you play Pokemon, you guys loved it. And to see where it's at now, it's like, damn, bro, like, especially on the Switch as well, right? Because one of the main reasons why I copped the Switch 1 was because of Pokemon. I was like, yo, like, the things they're going to be able to do with Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch versus the previous consoles is going to be insane. Like, I remember Pokemon Battle Revolution on the Wii and saying, like, wow, this is pretty good, right? Like, We're gonna have an actual console Pokemon game, not a handheld Pokemon game on the Game Boy, DS, 3DS. No, a console Pokemon game. We haven't had that in a while, and man, it's just disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And that's why I said this franchise just needs to fail. It needs to fail so that they can realize, hey, we've disappointed the fans. We need to increase the quality and come out with an absolute banger. But I'm afraid that I'm not even afraid. I'm more understanding of the fact that that reality is probably not going to happen because of how many like brain deaded drones out there would just continue to buy the game. You know, Call of Duty was dealing with that for years. People just kept buying, and spending. And now look at Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 is finally the game. I mean, even look at Black Ops 6. Like, Black Ops 6 was on a downward spiral throughout the entire year of just losing players. And then the Battlefield 6 beta came out, broke 500k players on Steam, and just completely like snuffed Call of Duty out the room. And now look, like Battlefield 6 dropped, it's a great game. I'm having a blast on it, and I'm not even thinking about Call of Duty. And with Pokemon, it doesn't have that other game that's similar to it, that's just as popular, that can compete with it in the market. Because Pokemon is its own thing. And it's like, it's a very simple RPG. It's like, it's nothing crazy. It's very simple. You can get in depth with it, right? But like for the most part, it's pretty straightforward now. Like it doesn't have that level of difficulty like the earlier games did. Like these games are so easy now. But I don't know. Like, will the backlash on social media that people are having towards Pokemon Legends EA do anything? Hopefully. But at the same time, I don't think Nintendo really cares because they're still making a lot of money. I'm gonna have to reignite this. I've been yapping a lot instead of smoking. That's great. God damn, I'm getting ashes on my pants. Whatever. Today's a beautiful day. Today is a beautiful day. I'm glad, like, I still, outside of being a gamer, and enjoying video games, I really do enjoy just, like, life in the real world and going outside and seeing people and meeting people and enjoying the weather, getting some sunlight, going for a walk, hanging out with people and stuff like that. But damn, sometimes when you just sit outside and just ruminate on what's happening, like especially with gaming, like what's happening with gaming, I'm like, wow, like there's a lot of like really, really solid games out there. But then there's like franchises that you love, but you have to just like step away from. I'm glad I did that with Pokemon. I'm glad I did it with Pokemon. Even with like movies, TV shows, like these franchises that have been around for a while, you're just like, nah, I'm cool. Oh, they're dropping a new movie of this franchise. It doesn't look great. I'll just wait for the reviews. That's exactly what I did with the last 3 Pokemon games. I waited for reviews. I looked at the performance of it and the gameplay, and I said, nope, not for me. I played Shield, I played Brilliant Diamond, I played Let's Go Pikachu. Did not enjoy those games. Sorry. I beat Shield in like a couple days. I was route clearing. So every route I would go to, I would just catch every Pokemon at that route. And then I was doing the wild area. And I was playing the game, and I was sitting here like, I waited years for this game to hit the Switch, right? A mainline Pokemon game in a new region on Nintendo Switch, and this is what I got. I got $70 slop. Well, at the time that game was $60, but still. Slop. AAA slop. And it only cost them $13 million to make. I'm like, yeah, a bigger budget would do the game justice, but you also need the people who are invested in making sure that the quality of the game is up to snuff with other competitors on the market. And that's why I said in my previous Cigar Yap session, there's going to be a correction that happens with a lot of these games. A lot of these games, particularly AAA games, that decide to put out the slop and not put in any effort into the game, you're going to hear it from the community. It's going to be a backlash. What needs to follow that, outside of the backlash, what needs to follow that is a decline in sales, a sharp decline in sales. Do not buy the next game. Do not buy it day one. Do not pre-order the game. Wait for reviews. Wait to see if it's a solid product, and then buy it. As much as I love Cyberpunk 2077, I didn't buy that game day one. The game got delayed 2-3 times. I said, yeah, I'm gonna hold off and wait. Something ain't adding up. Something ain't right. And I was correct. I was correct about Cyberpunk 2077. I got the game on sale for like 40 or 35 bucks. When update 1.5, 1.6 came out, the game was fixed. And this was right before 2.0 came out, like a couple months before 2.0 came out. And I loved it. Glad I waited. I can't even say I will do that with Pokemon because Pokemon doesn't fix the game. This shit right here is still trash. It's still butt cheeks. Magic City, parking lot, butt cheeks. Goddamn. So, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But like I said, there's a wide variety of games to play. There's always something to play. There's always something to play. That's why I'm not afraid to walk away from a franchise and say, you know what? I'm not going to buy your game anymore. I didn't buy Black Ops 6. Not buying Black Ops 7. I don't play NBA 2K anymore. I just don't play slop. Now, all my life, I've always played a wide variety of games, but there's always been those 2 to 3 games I play all the time. You know what I mean? Games you can come back to and just play. There's always a couple games I like to just play on the daily. But there's always other single player games I like to play, and then have a couple of multiplayer games I play on the regular. Ooh, it's a great day out here. Unlike my last video where it was like very, very windy, right now it's just like a really like cool breeze, right? Not too windy, just a nice breeze. Right now it's like in the 60s out here. And it's just perfect. This right here, this weather right here, this is the perfect weather. This is the perfect weather for a hike. I mean, I did my morning walk, but like a hike is nice in this kind of weather, you know. Hit up a girl or two. Like, hey, you want to go for a hike? Let's go for a hike. Let's go for a quick 3-5 mile hike. And man, free game for you guys. Free game. If you have any hiking trails near you, you know, a female friend or someone you're talking to, take her on a hike. She is going to tell you so much stuff, man. And it's great conversations too. But man, she's gonna tell you a lot. She's gonna get very introspective and start talking. But yeah, back to the gaming conversation, and we'll wrap this up and I'll finish this cigar. Back to the gaming conversation. Some games need to fail, and a lot of AAA games are going to have a massive correction that they're going to undergo, because the majority of gamers in this community are fed up with the BS. They're fed up with the BS. And this is why I tell people, you know, diversify your library of games, diversify the kind of games that you play, because there's so much like there's so many like sleeper hits and so many bangers and cult classics out there, not only just from new games coming out, right, new releases, but like older games that you might have missed out from a couple years ago or even generations ago. This is why I love emulation, right? Just the preservation of video games is the fact that I can go back and play a game I never played, or replay a game I haven't played in years. And I'd be like, damn, this was good. You know what game I played a month or two ago that I replayed on the PS3 emulator? I still have my PS3, but I wanted to play the game at a higher frame rate and a higher resolution. With a couple fixes I can import, right? I played Infamous 1. Infamous 1 was one of the first PS3 games I played, because I copped the PS3 in 2009, I believe, because I got the 360 first. So I got the PS3 Slim for $299. Remember, they made the Slim $299, and it was great, right? They started selling like hotcakes. And I got Infamous 1 and Need for Speed Undercover. Those are my two first PS3 games. And Infamous 1 was such a great experience. I love that game. Love the franchise too. So I replayed that game and I said, wow, I really forgot so much about the game because it's been so long since I played it. And yeah, that's why I love emulation. You just preserve the game. So if you guys are on PC, or you're on the PC handheld or a PC gaming laptop, look into emulation. Emulate some older games, PS2 emulator, PS3, GameCube. Like I said, I'm playing Pokemon Coliseum with my Asus ROG Ally, having a blast playing that game. Much better than the Nintendo Switch AAA slop that we're getting right now. And yeah, just enjoy yourself. And obviously, look into the newer games that are coming out as well. The games that are coming out next year in 2026. 2026 is going to be an insane year for gaming. So many bangers are coming out next year. We have the Game Awards coming soon as well, so there's going to be more announcements during the Game Awards. And yeah, let me know what you guys are playing. Like I said, I'm currently going through my second playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077, streaming that on my channel. Make sure you guys check that out. Streaming Battlefield 6 as well. And then I'm playing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered online. And those are open lobbies, so if you guys own Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, you guys can pull up. Whoever you are, it does not matter. Pull up, have a great time, and just enjoy the racing. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I got a little ranty there in the middle of it about Pokemon, but that's because I'm so passionate about the franchise. I want to see it improve. So I'm not going to spend money on it. I'll be starting to get a little bit of money. But yeah, dope as J. Fresh cut with the waves. Peace. I'm out. You guys have a great day.